Okay, it's recording. So, okay. So as you know, this part of the script, all this is a comments here. Okay, this is comment 2, and this is comment. So what is happening here is read. What read does is it will take the input from the user. It's going to take input here. It's going to take input here. Okay. So what we're going to do is since we have more than 3 disks available, right? So let me take a look. We have actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what this script is doing is, rather than running this command here, these are static commands here, like you have to provide SD, C, D, and E. Here, in this script, you could change at the time, at the moment, you could change whatever you want to input in, okay? So PV $disk1, instead of giving SDC, you could give in SDD and SDE and SDF. Okay, so let's move on. So let me see here. So the next part is PV display. So we don't really need that. Okay, that's for hours. So the script is not going to do anything with PV display. So let's see here. Enter a name of volume group VG. What we did here is ZMPT1, right? So then now we have to do read, because you are gonna be putting this in at the moment. VG name 1. Okay, so what is this here? VG name 1. This is just a variable. You could make up whatever you want. These are variables too, and you are using these variables. Whatever you put in here, it will come over here and accept that. Okay, because variables, when you hit enter, it stays in the memory. Okay, so now VG name. So yeah, now we need to use the VG create command. Okay, so we're gonna do a VG create ZMPT1. So we don't have to give that name here, ZMPT1. Instead, what we're gonna do is $VG1. Okay. So what will happen is, whatever name you give, you don't have to give ZMPT1. That's an example here. So if you give something else, that variable will pick it up and then put that information here. Okay. Now what you have to do is, you see dev, SDC and all that here, right? So now what you could do is you could replace this too. What are you going to replace this with? The variable. What variable are you going to replace it with? This1, this2, and this3. So you have to type $1, $2, $this1, $this2, $this3. Okay. So VG create is done. So that we're going to use the command vg create. This is it. And volume group name. This is going to be accepting the volume group name and the disk name. Disk 1, disk 2, and disk 3. Okay, and VGS, VG display. This is for our confirmation. Now what we're going to do is create a first LVM. Logical LV create, then we did accounting -L 10G. So now what we're going to do is so we need to run this command here. Okay, so instead of ZMPT1, I'm going to put this there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is LV create -n means new. So this name is going to come from the input here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say echo enter name of first logical volume. Okay, enter name of first logical volume. So this is the first logical volume. How many we need to create? According to this blueprint here, we need to create 4 logical volumes, right? We have, okay, hold on, let's go up. 1, 2, finance, HR 3, and recruiting 4. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so where are we now? LV display, create accounting here, right? Yeah, over here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna accept the input here. So read so we're gonna give the name first LV. I'm gonna give the name first LV. So now instead of accounting, I'm gonna replace this with $first LV. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna say 6YY, and then I'm gonna keep pasting here. Okay, I go down here to 3 and 4. So now what I'm gonna do is, okay, somebody help me here. This is first, right? And this one is second. So I'm gonna say second. So I'm going to make this second LV. Okay, I'm going to make second LV. Okay, and first one is 10 GB. The second one is how much? Second one is finance. So that one is 10 GB too. Okay, can somebody help me with HR? Looking at the information here. Help me with HR here. What I'm going to do, what I'm going to change here. So here, this is for enter a name of first. So I'm going to change it to third now. And I'm going to change it to third LV. And I'm going to change $third LV. Okay, make sure you copy and paste it because you know there is no chance of errors when you're running this. And this is 8 GB. So I'm going to just leave it 8 GB here. Change it to, instead of 10, I'm going to change it to 8. Okay, now I'm on the number 4. Enter the name of, instead of first, I'm going to say fourth LV. And I'm going to say read fourth LV. And here I'm going to copy this so that I don't get an error. And the fourth LV is so we have finance, accounting, HR, finance, and the recruiting is 8 GB. Okay, and now it's time to make the folders. Okay, everybody with me so far? MKFS dev. All right. So I'm missing one thing here. So I'm gonna have to go up here and make the file system here, right? So read first LV. So create first LV. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the file system here. Okay. MKFS dot XFS. Okay, and then what is this gonna be here? Instead of dash slash ZMPT1 slash finance, what is that gonna be? Anybody?
The variables which he provided.
Yeah, but yeah, well, very good. So how am I going to write? It's going to be automatically, it's going to be def. So that is static. That's not going to change. And then over here, we could map it here. So it's going to accept ZMPT1. So over here, what will become ZMPT1? Okay, so
Dollar volume.
yeah, $VG1. This will become ZMPT1 right here. Oops. Okay, and it says a financier. The first, so the first, which one is going to be here is uh, MK. So it will be first LV. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna YY, and then I'm gonna paste it here. Dev slash VG1. Okay, this is gonna stay the same. This is gonna become second LV. Okay. Then this will become the third LV. Okay, this is not new, right? MKFS, we all have done this. Okay, third LV, and then it's gonna be same thing for fourth. Okay, so you have to figure out only this part here, okay? Everything else is repeating. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I think this is good. You take the input, you create the first LV, say all the way to 1 to 4, and then you create this dollar. If you want, you could change this too. Should we do that? See, this is static, right? You could accept that here. You could put in here, enter the amount of, enter the size you want to give. Let's do that here, so that you are not stuck with 10 GB or 8 GB, whatever. So now what we could do is read first LV, then what you could do is read size. Okay, then what you could do here is enter, okay, echo enter the size you want in GB, in gigabytes, and I give an example there. Example 10G. Okay, so now it says read size. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say dollar size. Okay, now, okay, let's repeat this. Actually, you have to do size 1 here, because what we're going to do is size 1. Size 1 and second LV and okay, and then what I'm going to do is size 2, and then I'm going to say dollar size 2 here. Okay, everything, all these things you have already learned in the scripting here. There is nothing new here. Okay. Similarly, I'm gonna say here where okay, over here, and it says enter the size you want, and I'm gonna say read size 3. Okay, read size 3, read size 3. Okay, and then same thing here, enter the 4th LV, read 4th LV, and read size 4. Instead of 4, we're gonna say 8 GB $4. Okay, dollar size 4. All right, good. Look how complex this is getting here. Okay, it is simple, yet it's getting complex. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is so we did now we need to make our directories here. Okay, I'm gonna say echo. Now time to create directories here. Mount point. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is mkdir slash, instead of I will automatically take the volume name that the user is going to provide, and I'm going to make the directories with it. Okay, so they don't have to, if they're going to say accounting, I'm going to take accounting as the first LV. Okay, and then I'm gonna and this one will become second, third, and fourth. Okay, so what we are making is we're making the directories here so that we could mount it. And okay, so now once we mount it, what we're gonna do is either we could use the mount command or we could use the fs tab entry. So let's go into fs tab and grab the entry. I think there's another window open. Everybody remember fs tab, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this information here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, what do I put down here? Can anybody explain me what I'm doing here? I put down in slash etc fs tab. I think I showed you what I'm doing here before. Now what you have to do is you have to follow this here. Instead of here CentOS hyphen root, okay? So once you look at it here, it will probably become this, a dev slash mapper slash zmpt1 slash accounting, right? So let's do that here. This will become zmpt1, right? zmpt1, and this will become what is this going to become? This will become accounting. Okay, now what we have to do is we don't know what exactly is going to accept. So what we're going to do is, instead of zmpt1, what I'm going to do is vg name $vg name 1. Okay, and instead of accounting, I'm going to say first lv. That is it. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to copy and repeat 4 times. So I think the VG name 1 is going to stay the same. All we're going to do is just change this part here. Okay, and this one is fourth. Fourth LV, and since we are using the same drive mount point name, this will become the same thing too. Okay, and this one will become $3. Okay, and okay, I'm going to expand this here. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. So we are making a FS tab entry here. So I'm going to say echo uh, making FS tab entry. All this is going to be done in a flash. And then what is the command to load from FS tab? What is the command to load from FS tab? So we have mount -a. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so mount -a. Echo loading from FS tab entry. Okay, I think our script is complete now. And maybe if you want, you could do lsblk. Echo output so we do df-h. Okay, now all looks good to me. Anybody have, you think there is a problem here? Let me know. Let's run this script. Okay, I'm going to save and exit. Now, what I'm going to do is, let's run the script here, okay? And then we're going to try to match this here. So, before I run the script, I do lsblk, okay, and df-h. And then, let me just throw this into a notepad. Cat etc fs tab. Okay, all right, so these are the information, and we're gonna put it in here. So I'm gonna say lvm okay, so you have to give permissions here. Chmod 755, right? LVM. Yeah. Now let's go ahead and run this LVM script. Okay. Before that, I'm gonna walk you through how the script is working. third LVM, fourth LVM. Alright, so let's run that script LVM. So the very first thing it should tell us to do is uh, provide the name of the disks here. So before that, let's do this here. We already got LSBLK, right? Yeah. So we are using 3 disks, so we could use any 3. Let's do random. We're going to use B, D, and F just for fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do is run the script. Okay, this script is used blah blah blah. Enter the first disk information. So I'm going to type /dev/sdb. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter. So where are we now? Which part of script is executing? This part we are executing. This is where we are right now, disk 1. Okay, so I'm going to type sdb and hit enter, and it's going to say enter the second disk here, right? So I'm going to type sdd. Why are we doing this? Because we can. So dev/sdd. Okay, so now let's see here. So which part is getting executed right now is disk 2. This part is getting executed. Okay, and let me give a space here. So I'm going to hit enter. Now the third disk information. The third disk we're going to use is SDF. So we skip C and E. So I'm going to /dev/SDF. Okay, and hit enter. Alright. Okay, so it's probably we didn't wipe it down good. So it says DOS signature detected on dev SDB whatever. Wipe it. This is I didn't expect that, but yes. Okay, and it says so it did took 3 drives here: SDB, SDD, and SDF. Ignore this. When you're running this, you may or may not get this here. So we put SDF, SDD, SDD, SDD here, SDD, SDF, SDDF. So now it says enter the name of a volume group, ZMPT1. Okay, so we are over here now, ZMPT1. So should we enter ZMPT1? Yeah, let me go ahead and use ZMPT1. ZMPT1. And then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, now it says ZMPT1 is created successfully. Now what we're going to do is it says enter the name of first volume. Okay, so according to this map here, the first one is accounting. I'm going to type accounting. Okay, and it says enter the size. The size is 10 GB. So we have to type 10 G. Okay, and hit enter. and it says signature detected, accounting at wipe it. Yes. The reason this is coming up is because I think I didn't delete that before very good in a good manner. But let's go ahead and continue. Yes, it has ran through that script here. Now the script is at over here now. Okay, enter the first LV, enter the size. Okay, it's the script is here now. So the first LV MKFS is already done. So this part is doing the MKFS. This is MKFS part here. Okay. So now let's say enter the name of the second LV. So let's look at the second LV. Second LV is finance. I'm going to type FINANCE. And the size we want is 10G. Capital G, okay? And hit enter is going to give that morning, yes. Enter the third LV name, HR. And the third one, how much it needs is 12 GB. 12 capital G. Wipe it, yes. And it's at fourth LV, right? Fourth is what? Recruiting. Recruiting. Uh-oh. Okay, recruiting. And I'm going to hit enter. Now the size it wants it, I'm going to give 8 GB. Capital G. Okay, look at that. It has done everything else in a snap. The rest of the script is nothing but it has to do it in a snap here. Okay. So now let's do LSBLK and compare this here. This is the first command we did here, right? LSBLK. So LSBLK. There you go. See how this nicely is done? It got all this done here. It even did all this thing here in no time. Okay. Let's do DFFNH. It already has mounted that drive for you. And it has made the FS tab entry. There you go. See? I'm going to clear this. You do DFFNH again. And you see it's all nicely mounted here. Accounting, finance, HR. Are we missing one thing? We are missing one thing. Recruiting is missing. We're going to go cat etc fs tab. Okay, and then let me clear this. And let's do ls slash we have finance, HR, recruiting, and accounting. And DFFNH again. So I'm going to say mount -A again. Recruiting does not exist. So we have to look into ZMPT recruiting 1 does not exist. Okay, so the script has skipped the recruiting part. So let's go and look into the recruiting and see where the problem is. Fourth. Fourth. Okay. LSBLK. So I think it didn't took the recruiting because it didn't have enough space. So okay, let's see here. This is 16 GB. Oh, okay, this is 8 GB and this is 16. 32, 40 GB. Out of 40 GB, we are asking them to do 10 GB, 12 GB, 22. Finance is 32. And then so it didn't create recruiting because it didn't have enough space there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to delete all this here. Df hyphen. Let me run the dd command here. Dd slash input file equals slash dev 0. Okay, and then I'm gonna run this to dev sdp. No, it's not working. So let's do this here. Let's open another. This is messed up here a little bit, but let's go into. Uh, Let me create another. I'm gonna clone this here, and then I'm gonna name it LVM script. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add bunch of hard drives in here. Alright, so I'm gonna say bridge adapter here, allow all. and storage. Add hard disk, create new. I'm gonna go 16. I'm gonna say disk 1. Add, create new. Disk 2. In the real world, you're going to be having terabytes of data, terabytes of this size. So this size is not a problem. Disk 3, this is 16 GB. And disk 4, I'm going to add another 16 GB. So just in case. Disk 4. Okay, 16 times is 64. So we have 64 GB here. Alright, let me just turn this on. Ten dot 168.0.59. One 192.168.0.159 root. Oh. So I'm going to create a file. So df-h. There is nothing in there. lsblk. There are like 3 drives in there, right? So what I'm going to do now is copy the script. vilvm script. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste everything I have here. Maybe I could just do this. Now I'll just do it from this side here. There is a command, there is a service you could do a copy from one server to another server, but we are not there yet. So I'm going to show you when we really need to, when I really need to show you guys how to copy from one server to another server. You could do a lot of data transfer. That's another topic. Okay, and MKF is just third LV. Okay, all right. Let's do this. I'm gonna I'm gonna control X. I'm gonna shut this down. And it's 0. We don't need this. And let's do this here. Okay, ch mod 755 LVM. Okay, so if you do dffnh, there is nothing. lsblk, there is nothing. And we do cat etc fs tab, nothing. ls slash, all these drives doesn't exist. So let me clear this. So what I'm gonna do is just get lsblk output. So we're gonna use B, C, and D. Okay, this time we're not gonna fool around much. So I'm gonna run the LVM command. Enter the first. So dev sd b, and it says we're gonna do 10 GB. All right. So first one is 10 G, right? Yeah. 10G and dev sd. What do we have? C there, right? FDC. Oh shoot. This is not good. Because I hit enter main too fast. Yeah, let me cancel this. Let's run this again. Yeah, you gotta be careful if you hit it. If you're not paying attention, then it's gonna be a problem. Enter the first disk /dev sd sdb. Enter the first disk information. And why is it saying? Oh, okay. /dev /sd abc dev sdd. Okay, now it created a physical volume. Now I want to create a name of the volume group name, ZMPT1, and
So,
is, yeah, what?
so why it's saying like enter the first disk three times? I think
It
this means
just
to
it's just
enter
echo command.
second disk, third disk.
It's echo command.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
I mean you should.
misspelled it.
No, that's bad on my part. It just says here. It should have
Yeah,
been second and third. Okay, whatever you put here is there. So don't worry
yeah.
about it. You
So I
can go
think we
back and change it.
misspelled it. So
Yeah,
yes.
it's just overlook. So it says enter the name of the first LV. I'm going to give accounting, and the size is 10G. All right. Name of the second LV, finance, size 10G. Enter the name of third LV is HR, and the size is 12G. Fourth LV recruiting, and the size is 8G. There it is. It even mapped the dev. So it did a loading from FS tab mount, and then the last is FS tab. So I'm going to clear this LSBLK. So these are the drives which are mapped. Now you could see recruiting. Okay, recruiting is being placed on randomly. I think I talked about this, how this is being used here, right? It says recruiting 8 GB here and recruiting 8 GB. Don't worry about that. It's not exactly 16 GB. df-h. See, it did all of this in the mapping, and everything is all done. And you clear this and you go vi etc fs tab. All the entries are in there and all this is good. So the script we wrote is perfect. Everything is working the way it's supposed to be. So this is really valuable. You're gonna have to put on your resume that you know scripting, which you exactly know, already know how to do it. Scripting is nothing but a set of commands. Instead of you typing in, you're putting that in a file, and file is doing that for you. The computer is doing one after the other. The other things you put around the things you put around the commands is meaningless. You could just put all the commands you want in there. You don't have to put echo this, echo that. As long as you know what you're doing, you could do this. But you just want to make it human readable by humans, then that's what you do it.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, for adding entries in FS tab, instead of echoing, we can also use the set command, right?
Set command to what? Do what? In FS tab?
Yeah, to add the lines at the end of the file, FS tab.
Uh, I normally use echo. I'm used to
Okay.
using echo command. So
Okay.
what command you referring to? Set command?
Yeah, CD.
Oh, SED.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to. Yeah, you could do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about how there are many things. There are many ways to doing one thing here. Okay, there are many ways to do one thing. So don't be surprised that you find out you could do that way or other way. It's all fine.
So, in the bash script, suppose if the we have created a disk and everything, and suppose there was a problem with the touch disk, and we gave a different name and did like that, and we did manually and uh, edited, remove that whatever name we created, and if we want to run that script again from the failed part, how can we do that? Is there any way?
No, you just have to troubleshoot it and use your skills. What you have done. Okay, you have to figure out where the problem is. The script, the good part of the script is everything is if everything is in line. Um, you know, everything for the script to be working, you cannot
Hmm.
make changes if something is not there. Like if you were to run this script on another computer, all those computers should have the same amount of hard drives and everything. So normally what you do is you run the same exact script on hundreds of computers because they all are same. They are like clones of each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Now when
Okay.
that's when the troubleshooting part comes in, is you troubleshoot and you have to. That's where your Linux skills comes in. Where is the problem and where do you look into? All of a sudden you run this script here and all of a sudden you realize script doesn't know there are no hard drives. It will just skip it or it will give you an error message.
Okay.
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 All right, so that is the end of scripting here. Okay, there's a lot of things you have learned, and that doesn't mean I have showed you everything. Once you will go through this, I mean, there are a lot of things you have learned, and a lot of things I have showed you. That doesn't mean I showed you everything. Okay, don't don't quote me on it. So, uh, so I'm gonna just change this here to second, third. So next week we're gonna work on Ansible. We could, yeah. I want to see if I could start today. Okay, so I'm gonna split this document here, so I just not getting enough time. And by the way, when you are practicing it, start putting together a document like this here. You will get into a good habit what you're doing, and then put this, follow the way I'm doing here. Like put this in table, and then I mean, it's a good habit to have. And creating a document is you may end up creating a lot of documents at work. So we got disk duplication. I showed you how to do the host, right? Okay, so we already know how to connect one computer from one computer to another computer. Install the package configuration file, passwordless configuration. Configure host security, deny root connection. Okay, these are all good here. And then we started the scripting. Okay, so I'm gonna start Ansible, but I'm not gonna start until next week here. So, alright, so we're gonna end the class today here. Next week, we're gonna start a little bit more, a bigger topic here, and after Ansible is done, Ansible should be done like in 2 days, and then we have a month of August in August, September. Okay, so we have good 2 months left, so we will work on that. Yeah, and there are a bunch of other topics coming. But I want to start fresh with Ansible next week, and that way we could work off. What is Ansible? It is nothing but how you work on multiple servers. You could run the script, copy the script from here to there, and then run on those. It's actually a big topic, but we're not going to go into too big. We're gonna just go in there and know or acquire some skills how you would use it to get information from multiple servers, or where like this here we ran this script on one server here, right? We will use Ansible to do the same exact thing on 5 computers, 10 computers, 20 computers. That's what the Ansible is used for. Okay, so anybody have any questions? If not, then put in a group chat here. I'm gonna end today. All right, everybody have a good day.